Hey, so I thought I'd show you guys a little bit of my workspace to start off so you kind of get an idea of where I work and do things. So I live in Portland, Oregon, and we live in a tiny like basement apartment, but it's pretty cool because it's like kind of sectioned off into like having two living rooms, which I use the front part living room where I'm able to like open the front door and vent out whenever I'm doing any like resin casting here, and it works fantastic. It's great. And if it wasn't safe, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show you my little workspace. So this is where I do like the resin casting normally. So I have like some spray paint cans. It's not very clean right now. I do have some resin there, big giant gallons, and the paint, and usually I have to do a whole setup and everything for what I do here. Here is a weird drawing of Kylo Ren that Logan did. It's amazing. He gave that to me for Christmas. And our art that I have, this is Holly Randall. She did this, and this is one of my characters. This is Kid Manticore, and here's a bunch of the Land of 10 characters there. And so here are some of the figures that I've made. So these little guys are all the original sculpts from Land of 10. And then MF Doom. Thank you, Mateo. He's the one that made that. And then there's a bunch of my toys, a bunch of toy collection, lots of comics. So when we moved here from Arizona, we actually had to downgrade a lot. We'll like get rid of a lot of our stuff, art, comics, and toys. So we kept all the ones that meant a lot to us. And then here is my sculpting area. So this is where I do the majority of my work, is gonna be in this tiny little area. It's small, but it is mine and I love it. Of course, have the essentials when I start sculpting. My tablet, which is my everything. I have an Apple Pen with it, a keyboard, plays my music, a bunch of toys, little figures. And that's a sculpt. That's one that I'm working on right now. That's Kylo Del Rey that I've been working with Tanya. It's very much still in the process of getting sculpted and all that. We always talk about that. I have a few blanks from my friend Jessie, Slime Archetype on Instagram. Got a bunch of art from a bunch of rad people. My favorite toy that I've ever owned, this is Sucky Bucky. He is so I used to work at a comic book store in Tucson, Arizona at Heroes and Villains, and I found him in a box that said Batman cereal. And then out he came out. Look at that like run in his tights. There's also another holder. But yeah, you see him, he's great. So this is a little bit of my workspace here, and I usually always have my tablet with me because for music purposes and also for references, and so I keep it around my table. And so the character that I'm working on next is going to be Croc Rev Dead. He's going to be more of an evolved version of that, so he's going to be like, he's going to have extra horns, he's going to have like this amazing cloak that's going to be very psychedelic and colorful, and then yeah, just kind of adding on to him. He's also going to have this really weird tail. It's going to be kind of pervy looking, but you'll see, it works. And so like whenever I'm first coming up with like a toy idea, I'll kind of do like rough sketches on my own. I don't draw, so I know I've talked about this before, but I don't like to draw. I'll do it if I have to. To me, it's just like, it feels like a chore. It doesn't feel exciting like the way that I sculpt. So I work with another artist to do like box art or things like that. So, but I do rough sketches of what I want to make, or even like rough sculpts. So I know a few people do this, a few sculptors. Like when I sculpt a toy, I'll usually do like the main sculpt, then I'll do the second sculpt, and then the final sculpt. And then pretty much done from there. So it's kind of like the rough sculpt that I'll use like the crappy, like not good clay just to kind of get an idea of like the shape and size and like what I want. And then from there, I'll actually start the real sculpt. There's been a few times where I just skip all those steps because it's like this simple design. I get it. I don't need to do a bunch of sculpts for it. I don't know if this is gonna how this is gonna work out for documenting this, but normally for me, like my concepts or ideas or my like initial sketches look nothing like the final result. So I could show you here how this does not look anything. It's probably not gonna look anything how I originally wanted to look, but it gets my mind going when I do like these kind of play around sketches. And since I don't draw or anything, I kind of play around with like adding on to like a sketch that's already there. Like you can see here, like this is kind of what I'm playing with, and this is Santino's sketch, well, his drawing of Crocker Rap Dead, so I just kind of add on and play with designs. It's not exactly how I'm gonna want it when I sculpt it, but it's enough of a rough sketch and idea to get the direction that I'm going into. But yeah, so I want like extra horns. It might be like a little bit of a mohawk, and that's all like depending on like how much work I do want to put into the mold. So this all really depends on how I'm going to be able to sculpt it or design it. And then here his tail is this staff is actually his tail, so it kind of comes out up from the back of him and then ends here. Oh, whoops. Ends here and then shoots up, goes completely erect and turns into a staff. And his tongue is gonna be longer. So I'm gonna play around with his tongue being longer, and then instead of the eyeball on his collar, I wanted to be on his tongue. So so that's kind of the idea that I'm going with there. And just visually 3D makes more sense to me, so for me to sketch something out 2D is really hard to grasp. And like so maybe doing these videos and showing you guys will give you a better idea, and maybe, who knows, like I'll get better at doing sketches. I don't want to stop trying. I'm still doing it, but it's one of those things where it's like I'm doing it, I don't see improvements, but I'm gonna keep doing it because I need to. And so yeah, I'll go ahead and start with that, and you kind of get the idea of what I'm working on, and I'll end the video here, and I'm gonna start sculpting. So the next video that comes out is gonna be me sculpting this toy. So I'll have most of the sculpt done, and then I'll be able to show you guys like what kind of clay I'm using and the setting that I'm in when using when I'm sculpting, because I have to like do some prep when I'm gonna sculpt. Sometimes I'm like ready to go, but those are rare. Usually it's like, okay, I have to feel comfortable, I have to be whatever. Artists all have their all same moods for what they have to do. And yeah, hope you guys like the video. See you guys later. Bye.
Times a meow.